Alright, so we're looking here at Unit 6, Lesson 2, Truth and Equations. Okay, so first one here says, let's use equations to represent stories and see what it means to solve equations. Activity 2.1, 3 letters. 1. The equation A plus B equals C could be true or false. If A is 3, is 4, B is 4, and C is 5, is the equation true or false? So here, we know that we're looking at A plus B is equal to C. So if A is 3, we'll change A to 3. We'll change B to 4, so plus 4. And C will have to be 5. Is this true or false? It's obviously wrong, so it must be false. For letter B, we're using the same equation. A plus B is equal to C. And so we'll fill it in with what it says now. Find new values of A, B, and C that make the equation true. Okay, so we're just going to make it true then. A can be equal to even, let's just say 1. And B would be equal to, let's even say 2. If A is 1 and B is 2, that means 1 plus 2 is equal to 3, so C must be equal to 3. And there's one example. And that makes it true. Now we're going to find a new values for A, B, and C that make it false instead. And so we can say that even same numbers. A is equal to 1, B is equal to 2, but obviously then C would have to be the thing that makes it wrong, because A plus B is equal to C. We want it to be false, so we can maybe say C is equal to 4. And that would work out for this one. Similar idea for number 2, except now we have that X times Y is equal to Z. So here, X is 3, so 3. Y is 4, so times Y would be times 4, and we want that equal to Z. See, we have 12, and this is true. 3 times 4 is equal to 12. So same idea, we're going to be doing the same for X, Y, and Z, except now looking for true and one that makes it false. So let's say that X can be equal to, I don't know, let's say 5, Y equal to 3, and if that's the case, Z, to make this true, would have to be 15. Here, to make it false, if we do X is equal to 2, Y is equal to 4, and Z we know should be 8, because 2 times 4, X times Y is 8, but since we want to make the statement false, then we're going to say maybe 9 instead. And that works for this. Looking now at 2.2, story time. Here are 3 situations and 6 equations. Which equation best represents each situation? And if you get stuck, draw a diagram. Notice it is a diagram and not just a picture, right? So we need a label. Here, number 1 says, after Elena ran 5 miles on Friday, she had run a total of 20 miles for the week. She ran X miles before Friday. So we'll draw something to show this. Obviously there's no question, we're not finding an answer. We just want to draw something that represents what it says. So here, after Elena ran 5 miles on Friday, so on Friday, we'll say that here's Friday's amount, and that's 5 miles. She had run a total of 20 miles, so I can think, okay, well, 20 miles in total, okay? And she ran X miles before Friday. So before Friday, we'll call this X. And that represents what's drawn. So we can write an equation now that shows this. And I see here that I'm taking X and I'm adding onto it 5. I'm combining it together. So X plus 5 is equal to a total of 20. And that's our equation. For number 2, Andres' school has 20 clubs, which is 5 times as many as his cousin's school. His cousin's school has X clubs. So if Andres' school has 20 clubs total, and it's 5 times as many as his cousin's school, we can think that in total there's going to be 20 clubs, but that's 5 times the amount. So here, Andres' school has 20 clubs, his cousin's school has X amount of clubs, and that's going to be 5 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and that represents what we have. So really we have X happening a total of 5 times, so we have 5 times X, giving us a total of 20. Do remember that another way we can write this is keeping the number and the variable right next to each other. And that works too. Last one on this page tells us that Jada volunteers at the animal shelter. She divided 5 cups of cat food equally to feed 20 cats. Each cat received X cups of food. So here, volunteers at animal shelter takes 5 cups of food and divides it equally. So I know that in total already. So I'm going to start with my total. We have 5 cups. Okay? And we're going to take those 5 cups and divide it equally to feed 20 cats. Yikes. Okay. So we're going to take 5 cups, divide it into 20 groups. So I can take that. I'm going to take this amount and I'm going to make 20 of them. So there's halfway point. This would give me quarter way points. And then another 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 15. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 20. And then each cat, each of those 20 cats should get X amount for each. And I'm not going to write all the X's, we get the idea, okay? And so here I can think what is really happening is that X is happening a total of 20 times, so I can say 20 times X is happening, and we have a total of 5 cups. So this one actually we can again rewrite it again as 20X is equal to 5. This actually matches here. 5x is equal to 20 is the one that we see. 5x is equal to 20 matches here. And x plus 5 is equal to 20. X plus 5 is equal to 20 matches down here. Alright, for this one we are actually going to just be finding a solution for each equation. And when you find a solution, this word solution, we're really trying to find out the value of our variable. Okay, we already know the variable can be A, B, C, D, E. Basically a letter that represents a number. It's not actually a letter, it is a letter, but we use it so that way we can talk about a number that we don't know yet. Here we can figure it out though. 1,000 minus A is equal to 400. So we could think, okay, well, 1,000 minus what is equal to 400? And so we know for this one, A should be equal to 600. And a way we could even check that is actually just putting it into that. 1,000 minus 600 is equal to 400, and that's true. So A has to be 600. And we see that that is an option down here too. Okay. For number 2, we have that 12.6 is equal to B plus 4.1. Well, I know that if I add these two together, I should get that total, which means that if I take this total and I subtract B from it, I should get 4.1, but I could also take this total and subtract 4.1 from it to get B. So here, I can think 12.6 minus 4.1. I end up with 5/10. I end up with 8 ones, and so 8.5. You'll notice down here that it is an option. And so B is equal to 8.5. So get a few more. 8C is equal to 8. Well, in order for the number to be equal to itself, we can multiply it simply by 1. And so C must be equal to 1. 1's an option.
I'm going to feedback.
And we're just going to take a look only at one more for this lesson. Number 4, we have 2/3 times D is equal to 10 over 9. So I could even think to myself 2/3 times some fraction will give me 10 over 9. And in order for this to work, 2 times 5 gives me 10. 3 times 3 gives me 9. So D must be equal to 5 over 3. And we see 5 over 3 actually right over here too. So there we go. If you like, you can try the rest on your own. Do your best, and we can check it to see how you've done.